But and they do pretty much the same thing with Asuka in 2.0, where wow, I was not expecting that. I don't think it got quite the laugh I was expecting, but I was wow. They mirrored Shinji's meeting Pen Pen like shot for shot, and then she got pissed off at him and kicked him. And they had some awesome censorship happening in there. That was great. I could hear my sister giggling like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they just did that." You know what? I completely agreed with her. Yeah, I couldn't believe they did that, and they did a fantastic job censoring it. But here's my thing. Clearly, when Shinji reaches for Rei inside the 10th angel, there is unobstructed nipple, which I don't know. I didn't really turn away, but again, it took that split second for it to register. I knew it was Rei, but I was like, wait a minute, is that? Oh God, there it is again. Not that there's anything wrong with nipples on a kid. We all had them at some time or other. Just it's one of those boundaries that I don't know. Was that acceptable? And I mean, I don't know. Is this the Lin Min Mei in Macross Do You Remember Love thing where, oh my god, we got to see her naked? Oh, she's actually 18 in the movie. Oh, really? Is it that kind of thing, or is this the long promised fan service? And if so, was it just to appeal to the pedophiles? I mean, I know how they deal with pedophiles is a little different in Japan. I don't know the details. I'm not going to get into it, but as an American viewer, I was disturbed by it. I was like, whoa, wow, that's not cool. But they'll censor Asuka. And by the way, they did the Gynex bounce, the boob bounce with Mari when she put her pink suit on. That was great. Somebody had to do it eventually, and she did it. And then like one of the last things she said was, I'm pleased to be the pilot of Unit 3, the test pilot for Unit 3. But does this new suit make me look fat? I mean, that's what they were trying to get her to say. Like, does this suit make me look fat? No, she says, is it a little too revealing? I've seen fan art to that effect. Not showing anything, of course, but just poking fun at the fact that, yeah, that suit is very daring. And by the way, why the hell did they design that suit like that? Not that it really matters, but I'm kind of coming up with these subjects just as I think of them. Something it was interesting to see, whatever this Vatican Treaty is, it was interesting to see, unlike the series, it was interesting to see international recognition and international politics playing a role in the series. This appears in two ways. The first one is Unit 2 getting sealed away because, well, Japan now has 3 operational Evas. Why didn't they just keep Unit 2 out? I don't get that. Why not, put Unit 3 into storage? We haven't activated it. Let's put Unit 3 into storage. No, we have to activate it right away, and we have to put Unit 2 into storage. I didn't quite get that. But this Vatican Treaty, whatever it is, was kind of interesting. What was it, 3 Evas per nation or 3 Evas per continent? Which is kind of interesting. Makes you wonder how many Evas they actually have out there. They're probably going to go up to 12 or 13. Who knows? And the other time we see international influence on the politics and just the atmosphere of the series in general and the movie in general is the aquarium that the kids visit, which, oh wow, that's what that thing is. Some kind of reclamation project, some kind of small-scale oceanic reclamation project, I'll call it, which I thought was pretty cool. That's something you don't see in the series because the oceans have not turned red yet. Not that you can really call it red, I call it more of a pink. But it was interesting to see in the vast scale. Like, this thing's like 2 miles long, this reclamation project, just to get these, cubic, like 1 or 2 cubic miles of clear ocean water. That was pretty cool. Cool thing. I don't really know why they put it there, but it was just a chance for the kids to get out, I guess. So, show them being kids for a change. Yeah, it was interesting just from the technical standpoint that the world is trying to rebuild, and there are efforts. I mean, how do you go fishing? These kids have never heard of a tortoise before. They've never even seen a tortoise before. Toji clearly says, "Oh, wasn't that a tortoise?" It was funny. The subtitles, they intentionally misspelled tortoise when he said it. That was funny. There was one thing. Well, I can't really say whether one. There was something that kind of bugged me about 1.0, which really got to me. It was really misplaced as far as the capabilities of Nerve, and that is when Misato orders Unit 1 to be forcibly recovered as it's being attacked by the Sixth Angel. They can't pull the catapult back down because it's been melted, which I thought was good. That's realistic. I like that. It's not just going to be the armor of the Ava, it's going to be the whole damn catapult. That was cool. And then, they have to, when that happens, oh shit, what's going to happen next? Because that didn't happen in the series. They just brought it down right away. Because Ramio was just doing its thing, which was badass. I thought it was badass. But what happens then, I'm wondering to myself, oh shit, how are they going to get him out of this if they can't retract the catapults? That's the fastest, that's really the only way they can get him out. They can put up their little shield as long as they want to. It's just going to punch right through it, as we saw. How are they going to get him out? Well, we're going to sacrifice about 4 complete city blocks of Tokyo 3. We're just going to go straight down along with it. And then we're just going to have this huge old hole right in the middle of the city so that when the battle is over, none of the citizens, the non-combat personnel in the city are going to wonder, why the fuck is there this huge 4 city block hole in the middle of the city? Oh, no, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. That was one thing I really didn't like about 1.0. I thought maybe they overextended the capabilities of Nerve, regardless of how big the budget for the film was. I thought they kind of went over the top there. But here it is, 2.0. They're chasing after the 8th Angel, and it was kind of interesting. By the way, the song they played, one of the things that was really, really, really cool about catching the 10th Angel in the series was the music playing in the background. Which I really like. That's like that was one of my favorite pieces of music from the original soundtrack. From was it Shiro Sagitsu? Sagisu, however you say his name. That's one of my favorites. I love that thing. I played that thing over and over and over and over and over. Repeat button, please. Thank you. But then I don't know why it worked, but it was brash, and it was this is Nerve doing their thing, and we're giving it everything we've got, and it's got a lot of high energy to it, and it was really cool. It was really awesome. Same scene, higher budget. How do you say his name? Sagitsu. He's got more money to work with. Hell, he came back, by the way, which I was thrilled with. And I love majority of the modifications and updates he did in 1.0. Why didn't he do an update of what's it called? She said you shouldn't make others suffer for your personal hatred, which is not only the name of the episode, it's the name of the piece of music. It just didn't have the same punch. It was movie music with strings and a little bit of brass and a little bit of drums and things like that. It just didn't. It didn't really work. I like that. By the way, I like that the 8th Angel starts out as something different and then morphs into a butterfly. Actually, maybe it was more like a moth. Like a colorful moth is what it looked like. The colorful moth of fucking hell. That's a good descriptor right there. I liked... the first one was kind of a clown-looking thing in the series. Sahakuya was a clown fish thing in the series. In this version, it's... Wow, I can't really tell what the hell I'm looking at. Other than the music... Getting back to, 4 city blocks disappearing in 1.0, the thing that kind of bugged me is that you're telling me that Nerve planned in advance that an Ava would have to make a quick turnaround without literally slamming on the brakes and making an about face to take off in the other direction. You're telling me that they planned in advance that these Avas would have to be running and they wouldn't be able to stop in order to turn around, and they'd have to be able to go in this particular direction. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put the 1 kilometer run track where these panels lift up off the ground at such and such an angle so that the Ava can make these elaborate turns. Where the hell are these panels in Tokyo 3? I mean, are these kind of scattered throughout the countryside? I mean, what the hell are these panels for? The trampoline buildings weren't much better. Those were kind of... Why would you put those there? I mean, you can't just raise one building, have Unit 1 stand on top of it, and have it hop off. No, he has to go boing, boing, boing like fucking Mario. That didn't endear me to what they did. That didn't endear me very much to the production staff, what they did with 2.0. That, as far as the portrayal of Tokyo 3 and how this is Nerve headquarters, it should just be gun, battery, missile launching shit sitting out there, missile tanks once in a while, and then it should have, like, the city center and maybe some outlying outposts could have weapon caches for the Avas, and that should be it. It should not be this elaborate jungle gym of shit that they had in 2.0. That was not a very cool thing. By the way, this recording has just reached 40 minutes. I guess I am going to have to do this in multiple videos. Now for something completely different. The death rate for Avas in this movie is ridiculous. We lose Unit 5 in the first few minutes. I saw pictures of Unit 5 like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when 2.0 came out in theaters in Japan. We had to wait, 2 years for it to come over here. Thanks for that, Funimation. I really appreciate it. I call Unit 5 heretical. By the way, it's provisional Unit 5. It's not mass production. It's not production model. It's provisional model, which means basically all the internal organs and a little bit of the head survived and everything else became crap. They made it sound like Unit 5 was a prototype of some kind for multifunctional arms and legs. Like they could swap out an arm and put a different one on, because, I mean, clearly it came out before Unit 3 did, and even Unit 2. So, something happened and they just decided to slap some mechanical arms, and just for this particular situation, we're going to give it a lance and a big old claw on the side. We're not going to put auto guns in the forearms, Vulcan guns in the forehead like a decent little Gundam. No, we're just going to give it a spear and a claw because that's what the script calls for. You know what, Studio Kara, that's not good enough. You've got to show that this thing can operate beyond what it did in that one scene. You can't justify the appearance of it, the function of it, with just a spear and a claw. You've got to give it something more. And of course, it has a spear and it has 4 legs, so there's that whole Centaurian theme running around while it's chasing after a dinosaur skeleton of whatever the hell that thing was. That was a weird angel, by the way. I'll get to angels a little later. Anyway, so we lose Unit 5 in the first 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. And the next one we lose is Unit 3, which, who didn't see that one coming? I will say, though, the destruction of the 13th Angel, from the interactions I've had over the years with other people who've seen it, it's shaken a lot of people. Like, they didn't... That's actually one of the things I like about Evangelion, is it can be blood-filled, it can have the occasional intestine hanging out once in a while, but it's not gory Japanese animation, like, worst-case scenario, Akira, Ghost in the Shell. I can't name any others that I've personally seen. Ghost in the Shell turned my stomach for 3 days. I literally couldn't eat anything for 3 days. That was repulsive, and it was confusing as hell. Akira was just... I saw it when I was younger, and I was just getting into rated R movies, so that was kind of interesting. I still get squeamish at it. Anyways, the cool thing about Evangelion, both the series and the movies, is it can be bloody as hell, and you have these monsters romping around in the middle of it, but it's not so gory and detailed and holy shit, there's his heart, holy shit, there's this and this and then this. It's not so detailed or over-the-top gory that it turns your stomach, makes you want to turn away. Maya Ibuki might disagree with that point, but I'm not really asking her opinion.